Okay.
Welcome to the Flux Bug Scrub, July 22nd. This is the fourth Flux Bug Scrub event so far. For anyone who hasn't done this before, we're pretty informal. We just try to go through the list and look at each issue that we narrow down a little bit first. We haven't narrowed it down yet, but usually I'll take and filter out all of the very new issues and very old issues first. So bear with me a moment while I set these filters that should affect your screen, Daryl. There we go. And this column with the emojis is sort of our short accounting column so that we can keep note of which issues we want to focus on, which issues we've actually visited, if there was a resolution or if there's something blocking. And the metal is really doesn't necessarily have a set meaning. It could be we closed this one or it got assigned to someone. Whatever it is, it gets a medal. So, and if you'd like, this is not required, but if you're new contributor to Flux, we can make a goal of trying to get you to come away with an issue that's assigned to you. So as we go through, hopefully we'll see, if not something for you, we'll try to give it a label like good first issue. So someone who's a new contributor can come along and do it. That's really the main goal of this, is to get a few issues cleaned up and put better labels on them. So if you want to start at the top, that's usually what I would recommend. And if you can visit the issue link that I have here, then we can read the issue together and decide what to do next. Oh, this is a good one. I don't think there's anything we can do for this unless someone wants to write this, but I am, for one, am interested in this feature. I'd like to see it happen. So Stefan is a good Q hygienist and has put all the labels on, I think. So unless anyone has anything to add, I think we'll just move on to the next issue and mark this one. Implement deletion retries in Helm controller. If the Helm release is deleted and fails to delete corresponding resources, it is never retried and just leaves orphaned resources. This can be accomplished using owner references. So I have the triage role. I'm going to put some labels on it. Looks like it's Helm related, and I think it's a bug. Probably not a good first issue. I think it's pretty clear. I don't think there's anything we can add. Thank you. Pod security policies. So it looks like there is a PR that's open to resolve this, and I would guess the only thing keeping it from merging is Let's see. Would you like to follow the link through to 178 so we can take a look at that? So we could take a look at the content of this PR. I'm just scrolled to the bottom to see if there's anything stand out as blocking. I'm just going to respond to this because I think I know the answer to that person's question. It's true. The way that the Terraform provider works is there's a Flux install command, and then once you've bootstrapped, Flux will reconcile and do whatever you've done in your Flux customization patch to Flux. So there's a period where Flux itself does not have any configuration applied to it. If you needed to add like annotations at start time to be sure that it can reach your private repo that maybe needs an IAM role or something. I don't think there's a way to do that with the Terraform provider, but I'm not completely sure. I'm just going to reply, I think that's correct. So I'm going to put docs label on this. And I think we're done. Okay. This came up in the dev meeting yesterday. I didn't see the issue, but this is a good issue to talk about. Maybe this is around reorganizing our docs. So I could summarize this real quick. Basically, the idea is that when you come to the Flux docs, you probably either want to look something up that's a spec or definition, or how to do something specific. And Allison there, this is good. This is the summary one here. General architecture notes and understanding, so concepts, and I guess tasks and tutorials are separated, since tutorials are a little bit longer and they probably cover a range of use cases. where tasks are one specific thing. So this is probably going to be a long running one unless Allison has already made progress or on the way. And it has some labels. Anything to add? How have you had occasion to look into the Flux docs much?
Me, yes, I have. And I also came across similar kind of issues, and it didn't seem to be particularly organized around tasks.
So this is the issue where that will be tracked. I'm not sure that there's anything to add for us now. Foldable menu. So this is a website style issue, and if you change the size of your screen a little bit, you'll see what it's talking about. Make it a little bit smaller, or open one of the open one of these contributing. Yeah, there you can see the bottom is clipped.
Yeah.
And Daniel has this assigned to himself. Do we want to disable sidebar menu foldable? Oh, I see. It's a bug in the upstream repo. So do you have an opinion? If we were to remove the little foldable things, would that make it better or worse?
Not sure what would happen if you remove that.
I think what they're saying is that if the little foldable, I don't know what the handles were to be removed, then that clipping would go away. I don't think that's a net benefit. If you look at some of the, like, especially the CLI, that's really long. It's better folded up. I'm just going to write that on here. I don't think so.
Yeah.
If you want, you can move on to the next one while I respond to this.
Right. We've got helm test hooks are not respected on retry. Okay, this is a problem with helm controller. Basically, if the test fails on the first try, the test resource doesn't get cleared up. So it can never succeed because the test resources remain. It does successfully clear them up after the hook succeeds, after the hook succeeded. Runs, but not if one of the other outcomes. Hook failed. More to the point.
So the best thing we could do with this issue, since it looks like someone has provided instructions on how to reproduce it, would be for someone to go in and actually try to reproduce it. I don't know how you feel about giving helm operator or helm controller a try. Do you think that's something you'd like to try?
Not from my first one, no.
Okay, I'm going to assign it to myself.
Okay, so this is an update to a default key to null, followed by an apply to another value that's null. Doesn't apply, and it seems to be nothing to do with us, but in fact actually to do with kubectl.
One or the other of these tools. Yeah, so
That last comment though, kubectl apply server side equals true, works correctly in a simple test, but causes a conflict with helm controller managed field.
Do you know anything about managed fields?
No.
Me neither.
Well, I presume what he's saying is that the helm controller still thinks the field is a different value.
Yeah, I know that there's a, I think, I wonder why this issue is filed under customized controller now that I'm looking at it. It looks like a helm controller issue. It might have something to do with the fact, though, that customize is actually in the loop when you use helm release after the fact. So the helm release, I've seen other issues reported about this where the helm release output is passed through customize somehow, and that causes or not out. Yeah, the templates themselves are passed through customize, and that can cause problems with things like numeric keys, numeric hash keys, like in a config for Nginx that says expose this port and point it at this thing. The customary way to do that is with a numeric key, and not all charts quote that numeric key because it's not required by Helm, but it's required by Customize. I don't think there's anything we can add to this. I'm just going to write, should this be moved? Yeah. You can make a note here that says what we're going to do with it. Define requirements for the oversight committee role. Yeah, let's take a look at this number 75. So this one was merged. Probably would be helpful to include a link to wherever this text goes. I see there is already a list of oversight committee members. And there was a bulleted list of, looks like oversight committee responsibilities. I think that's what this is about. And there's a new file, community roles. I think that's going to be a bad link. Teams. That's correct. Okay. I'm just going to put a screenshot of what I found in here. This looks like a bad link. So because we are on a non-paid Zoom account, we have 10 minutes left. We can keep going like we're going. And if we feel like we want to keep going after that, we could start a new Zoom, or we could call it there.
What did you do previous dates?
We just ended there.
Oh, just
Yeah. And part of the building the documentation out this way is that we don't necessarily have to quit. We can just go asynchronous and coordinate through the spreadsheet. But so far that hasn't actually happened in any of these.
well, you still have 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Get a lot done in 9 minutes.
Don't know if you're aware, Daryl, of the customized 4 upgrade or any of the issues surrounding that. That's what this 1522 link at the bottom is. There's a detailed explanation from Stefan of exactly what we know of that changed in Customized 4 that affects our users. And Customized 3 is no longer maintained, so there's no possibility of continuing down that direction. Here's that non-string keys issue I mentioned. Nginx config. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen all of these issues myself, and I've seen most of them being reported by people who are affected by this. I don't think there's anything we can really do other than if we wanted to go whine at the SIG-CLI people and ask them to fix it. Might be worth tracking down if they have any open issues related to that, any of those things. I'm just going to assign it to myself and say I'm going to do that. Well, this is a good one. Have you worked with network policies at all?
No, not really.
I know I saw network policy editor. Yeah, it's networkpolicy.io. If you ever feel like trying it out, there's this visual network policy editor you can use to learn about network policies. I just put it in the chat link, but for anyone on the recording, it's networkpolicy.io. I haven't worked with network policies much either, other than trying to debug issues with the notification controller like this one. And I found it seems like they behave differently on every cloud platform. And every CNI, every different combination has different quirks.
Stefan says raise it with Azure support.
Yeah, I'm just going to mark it as blocked upstream, but I'm not sure how we follow that up. I think I've found issues like this on Flannel myself. That's what I use for my mixed architecture cluster. I have a Raspberry Pi AMD 64 cluster here that I use for all kinds of testing. Let's move on to the next one. I'm just going to put a little reply on here. It looks like we're at the 2-minute warning. I think this issue looks like it needs rebase at least. Thanks for coming before we get cut off abruptly.
No problem. I mainly just want to get familiar with what bugs people are experiencing.
It's a lot more fun with volunteers, so I really appreciate you coming.
I guess we've been slowly growing, so see you next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
Have a great day, both of you.
Thank you.
Everyone else.
Bye.